Hi, this is Tanner, Rissa, and Willa. For the past 9 months, we've been accomplishing a lifelong dream of ours to live internationally and make travel a consistent part of our life. Germany is our current home and one that we have loved exploring. This Christmas season is our very first spent here in Germany. If you have watched some of our latest videos, you will see that we have had an amazing time trying a German bratwurst for the first time, exploring 2 different Christmas markets, and finding our perfect Christmas tree. We have learned so much about German cultures and traditions, and now, with Christmas season in full swing, we have noticed many differences between how Christmas is celebrated in America versus in Germany. Join us as we talk about those differences and our first time experiencing them.
Hey guys, it's Tanner and Rissa, and as you guys have seen, it's Christmas season for us. We've started to do a lot of fun new traditions for us here, and that's kind of what leads us to today's video. We really wanted to focus on some of the new traditions that we were picking up here in Germany and comparing them to some of the ones that we have back in the States. Now, we have heard a lot of suggestions from you guys, and so thank you so much for giving us a little insight on what Christmases really look like inside of a German family. It's been really nice to learn just a little bit more.
Yeah, and we're not only trying to learn, but we're also trying to implement them into our life, and that's been really fun to start new traditions with our family. So, first off, getting a Christmas tree. We are finding out that this looks very different in America versus Germany. Of course, America is large and there's a ton of different landscapes within the US. So even, depending on where you live in the country, it's gonna look different. But one of the major differences is the timing of when people purchase or go and get their Christmas tree. In America, it is common for people to go and get their Christmas tree soon after Thanksgiving. So last year we did that honestly like 2 days after Thanksgiving, and when we went to the Christmas tree farm, most of them were picked out. Once Thanksgiving ends, Christmas starts, the major celebrations start happening, and that's when it occurs.
And once the Christmas trees are put up, they typically stay until December 26th. And then a lot of people, they might wait until New Year's or so, but we know a lot of people, it's like the day after Christmas, it's going down, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas for Germany, we noticed that a lot of people wait until December 24th, till Christmas Eve, to really even put up their Christmas tree. Now, when we went and got our Christmas tree at the local farm, we showed up a couple days before Thanksgiving, actually. And
I was antsy.
But we saw other people there. And then we've also heard that people will keep them up until January 6th, which is known as the Day of the Kings.
And then one other difference between getting a Christmas tree in America versus Germany is that in America, it is very common for people to have fake Christmas trees. But here in Germany, it seems like most people get a real Christmas tree. We can see the conveniency. Honestly, both of us grew up with fake trees, and it is nice because there's no mess. It's a really quick takedown, put up kind of a thing, but I don't know. It's been really fun for us to have, this is our 2nd year with a real Christmas tree, and it's fun to embrace that, and it's such an experience going to get the Christmas tree.
The next German tradition is an ADVENTSKRANZ, which is very popular in Germany, we found out, and it's been a lot of fun to see people's ADVENTSKRANZ that are decorated so well. Ours, on the other hand, we got one from our German Christmas tree farm, and it's beautiful. It's very simple though. We don't have any decorations, any ornaments or anything on it. So maybe next year we'll start to get one that's more permanent and we can bring out every year. But that's a very fun tradition that's not so much common in the US. We noticed that like right here, you notice there's a little wreath hanging on our wall. We typically have these around the house, outside as decorations, but normally we don't see candles like you guys have them here.
Yeah, honestly, I never had seen an ADVENTSKRANZ until now. And it's been fun to see people like wishing each other like a happy first Advent and being able to participate in that as well. The next thing is what we'd call an Advent calendar in English. And these are really popular here. So much so that I've even seen that some Christmas markets celebrate them. They turn their buildings into like a live Advent calendar. Typically it's like the windows of buildings they'll like decorate and have fun little things come out for each day. So we think that's really fun. We personally have never seen anything quite like that in America, but we did have Advent calendars growing up. Here in Germany, it seems like there's an Advent calendar for anything you're looking for. Toys, tea, that's one thing that I did with Tanner. Chocolates is another common one, and one that Tanner got for us. Oh, she wants to go for day 2. We can have another one tomorrow. Okay?
Did you save Daddy any chocolate? Did you save any for Daddy to share?
Awesome.
Yeah, you had some.
We have also heard that a lot of members of the family can have their own advent calendar. We just got one to share this year, but we think it would be fun in future years maybe to get Willa more of like a kids focused one. She's a little young. She doesn't know what she's missing out on, but...
No, she knows what she's getting into when she eats the entire chocolate from the first day of the Adventskalender.
That's true.
A fun tradition. So the next tradition is kind of the difference between Santa and St. Nicholas. Now, we are in no way experts over this, but the research that we have done, we've noticed that St. Nicholas was known for being a very gifting and a miraculous bishop from the 4th century. He lived in Greece, and he died on December 6th. And from what we understand, that is why December 6th is known as St. Nicholas Day, and the tradition of putting children's shoes or boots outside of their door so that they can be filled with goodies the next day. So we've seen from a lot of things online and from a couple of you that St. Nicholas, or someone who dresses up like St. Nicholas, typically does not go alone to parties and Christmas markets and such. There's someone who is called, I'm going to slaughter this, Knecht Ruprecht, or Krampus.
So, Santa Claus. Actually, he originated from St. Nicholas. Like, we learned that in school. Santa Claus came from the Netherlands. They celebrate Sinterklaas, and they're pretty similar in dress and appearance, the white beard, red clothes. So that's where Santa Claus came from, but the celebration is different in the fact of we don't celebrate St. Nicholas in America.
Most likely the most famous part of Christmas season here in Germany are the Christmas markets. And why shouldn't they be? They are beautiful. They have a lot of environments where people can go celebrate Christmas, enjoy food, fun, lights, and the holiday season. We were surprised by how many markets there are in Germany, from the small little towns to the big cities, and we could not believe that they were like every single night.
So once they open, it seems like it's a daily occurrence and everyone goes to visit them leading up to Christmas Eve. And that's really fun for us because typically the Christmas markets or little Christmas celebrations in America, they don't seem to be like a daily occurrence. There's typically a couple certain dates, whether that's a weekend or, you know, a week long where you just go and you kind of just have to take advantage of that time. Like Tanner said, we've only been to 2, but oh man, we loved both of them and we love the food that they have. It seems like there's food everywhere, treats, desserts, savory, sweet. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna start drooling over here. We love them. Some of the main common foods that you can get at a Christmas market is glühwein, and we actually don't drink. So we haven't tasted what that authentic taste of that is like, but it's super popular here. We did try like an alcohol-free variation of a Christmas drink, and that was really fun and tasty. So those are really common here, as well as, oh, my favorite candied almonds and candied nuts. There's a plethora of different choices and options to choose from.
On the Weihnachtsmarkt, on the Christmas market.
As well as crepes and waffles. Bratwurst and bread is another really typical Christmas market food.
Of course, the Christmas markets in America can't even compete with what German markets have to offer. What we grew up and is very common is going to see Christmas lights. These are an assortment of arrangements that have been put up, and typically you can go, show up, walk. It's usually at a park or sometimes in neighborhoods. And they even go as far as like tune them to a radio frequency and play Christmas music, and the lights will turn on and off and do all sorts of fun loop-de-loops with the music. So that's a very popular thing for people to go do. But for the most part, these Christmas lights are set up and there's not a lot of food, if any food that's typically there. It's usually go, enjoy the lights, walk around, and then you can go to a nearby restaurant or something to go and eat.
Yeah, like the lights are the main attraction. That's like why you go, is to see them. One in an area that we live to, like people will pay $20 per car to just go and drive around and see the lights like at this area. So I don't know if this is common here in Germany. We haven't seen anything like that. But
we don't really live close to a lot of major cities, nor in the north or in the west of Germany. So be interesting to see if they have something like that.
And of course, there's exceptions to anything. They have a lot of fun Christmas villages and so many different types of celebrations for Christmas in America. It's just different. And it's kind of hard to explain, I guess. And America is just so vast that it's going to differ depending on which region. But this is our experience. The other major thing that I would say is when you go to a Christmas celebration in America, almost always there's going to be Santa Claus coming to visit. There's typically a huge line of all families with little kids that are going to sit on Santa's lap, take a picture.
Get a candy cane, get a little snack of goodies.
Tell Santa what's on their wish list, and that's like the major thing to do.
Now, just because we mentioned that Santa Claus is typically the main reason why all those kids are super excited to go to the Christmas markets, there are typically nativity scenes that are set up around in these areas, but to be truthful, not all of them do. That's kind of the unfortunate part of a lot of the commercialism in the United States is Christmas time is about what's the best gift, and Santa Claus are a lot of the times the main focus. But that's not to say that many people take the time to truly celebrate the true meaning of Christmas.
Christmas treats and sweets that are typically baked at home. In Germany, there's a lot of different Christmas holiday cookies that we've heard are very popular to bake at home. Even a couple of you guys have sent me some recipes, which I greatly appreciate. Some really popular Christmas cookies here are Lebkuchen. So at the Christmas markets, we've seen it, and then we've heard it's commonly baked at home, which Lebkuchen is like a soft gingerbread cookie.
Another one is Weihnachtsstollen, which is similar to fruitcake. That's typically what we've heard it's compared to. We haven't tried it, have seen it in the Edeka and other stores, but this one will be one that we'll have to give it a try sometime as well.
In America, one of the most popular cookies that people will bake at home is the common sugar cookie. And I think it's probably just a fun activity to do with kids and get them involved as well, where they have brightly colored frostings and sprinkles, and you can cut them into Christmas cookies shapes. And we've even seen this in the Christmas markets here, the cookie cutters, but I feel like that's like the biggest main thing that American families will do during the Christmas time. Cookie Christmas swaps are also really popular in America, where they bake all different kinds of Christmas cookies and we'll do fun swaps and little parties at houses. So do you guys do that here in Germany? It would be fun to hear if that happens here with the cookie swaps.
When celebrating Christmas and Christmas Eve meals, it seems that most Germans take the time to have a big celebration on the 24th, whereas in America, Christmas Day or afternoon is typically the biggest meal that we have. It consisted of potatoes, or what we call funeral potatoes, so they are grated potatoes, cheese, some corn flakes sprinkled on top, and then it's baked in the oven, and then ham, and then vegetables, and a bunch of other sides, and of course rolls. Without fail, every year, if you go to a church activity that's around Christmas time, or you're going to someone's Christmas party, that seems to be the choice. Whereas here in Germany, we have heard that goose is one of the most popular meals to have on Christmas Eve or Christmas time. And coincidentally, on our drive, sometimes we have been able to see that there's this field, a roadside field with hundreds of geese, and it has a sign that says that you can call and buy a Christmas goose. So we're gonna try and give that a call. We'll see how that turns out, and we're not sure. We don't have a very big oven, but we're pretty excited to hear about the different ways that you can prepare a goose and just that fun difference between the US and Germany.
I've never had goose before, have you?
Same. Duck I've had, but goose,
No, I don't think ever.
One tradition that is particularly special to us, mostly because it is a family tradition, is to have something called AEBLESKIVERS that is made little pancake balls, is the best way that I've been able to describe them. And that's been a fun tradition for us. My dad lived in Belgium for a few years, and over the years they have gifted us with the pans. It's a special pan that's hollowed in the side. Fill it up with this pancake-like batter, and it makes these little pancake-like balls that you can fill with whatever you please.
In my family, it's really common to have cinnamon rolls the morning of Christmas.
So in the US, typically on the night of Christmas Eve, there would be other celebrations and maybe small gift exchanges, but the main part was when Santa Claus would come during the night. We'd wake up Christmas morning to see what gifts he had brought us. But from what we know here in Germany, Christkind will come on the eve of Christmas, and typically the parents will know when Christkind has come. But in Germany, rather than Santa Claus bringing the gifts, it is believed that Christkind, or the Christ child, will bring by the gifts, and typically the kids are sent into another room or they're gone outside, and then typically parents are the only people who know when Christkind has come to drop off those gifts, and then everyone will come and enjoy the celebrations that way. So some interesting differences, and one that we are still learning about and interested to find out the different traditions based on the region that you live in. But those are kind of major differences that we definitely weren't used to.
Yeah, and like we said, we're trying to embrace them and learn from them. So if there's any other main traditions that your family celebrates or a lot of other Germans do, please let us know, because we just want to try and embrace as much as we can and continue this even if and when we leave Germany. So it's going to be fun to like make this a part of our Christmas traditions forever, hopefully.
For sure. Thanks again, everybody. We hope you have a Merry Christmas. Ours has been wonderful so far, and we hope that it'll continue to be. Make sure to enjoy being with your families, and especially thank you again for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already, and we will see you next time.